What is going on, guys? It's Matt here, and in today's video we are going to go over the current state of MapleStory in Reg server, or also known as interactive. As most of you have seen by now, Niru shocked the world by not hitting 300 as a power play after ranting for 40 minutes to about an hour on the current state and current issues that GMS Reg server faces. It's nice, and we got the inkwell note about reboot, and it's nice to see that reboot isn't going to suffer the same fate as in KMS, but now we need to make a stand and we need to let them hear what is wrong with Reg server. It's been neglected far too long, lacking severe quality of life, and even if we can't mention everything, at least mention the main things, right, that people are talking about, to hopefully make some change. Change isn't going to happen overnight. It ain't gonna happen soon. Maybe there are some key things that they can actually implement like immediately, but this is going to be a process and this is going to take time, right? So let's get into it. Shout out to Easy Sound Seeker here on Reddit for compiling a list on the issues right now in Reg server, right? First big issue: merging all the servers. Okay, Bara, Scania, Elysium, and Aurora. I agree 100%, right? With Kronos, right, and reboot, with Kronos being about 70-30 split to Reg server, it not even being able to like completely cap out the servers at like prime time in the afternoon really goes to show you how abysmal it is in Reg server, where you have like presumably the other 30% of people fragmented in 4 different servers, right? We need to be able to have people in order to be able to do things in the game, whether that is trade with others, whether that is to boss with others, right? Finding and making boss parties is extremely difficult. There is no reboot central for Reg server, right? You could, you know, if they were to do this, you know, you could bring back instance maps, right, like they have in reboot. However, the frenzy problem would still be there, which we will touch upon in a bit. The frenzy problem would still be there, but it's up to them to figure out like how to make that work, right? Like you can have it so that frenzy does affect both instances. You can't say that it's not possible, right, if you haven't tried, right? It's not possible currently, but does that mean it's not possible forever? Well, obviously not, right? Like it should be possible, and if they really wanted to, right, we could do this the GMS way, right, to have it like this. Like Reg server is dead, man. You know, Reg server is dead, and we need to bring some more life to it. I know a lot of people might not be in favor of merging all servers, and they want maybe just Scania, Elysium, and Aurora, have Bara on its own. If you want it like that, so it doesn't seem like there's only one mega server, you could do it that way. Another option and another thought is to have cross-world auction house, right? You can make the free market cross-world. You can implement cross-world trading only in the free market, right? And have the cross-world auction house. That is also something that should be very possible to do if you do not want to merge all servers together. But I think just merging everything would be more simplistic. I think logistically, you'd have to consider guilds and duplicate names. IGNs don't matter, they're all shared across the servers anyway. There's no conflict there. And in regards to the economy, I am of the mindset that everything will eventually balance itself out. There will be bumps, but I think in general the market will actually be better than what it currently is, right? If you were to bring everybody together, the markets already are very similar to each other, so I highly doubt much would change. But you know, with supply and demand, more demand, right, sorry, more supply will bring hopefully more demand as well, because everybody's together, and then, you know, we could have a server that is actually flourishing. A lot of these issues are very specific to GMS because of lack of players, right, that we're gonna go over. It's different in KMS because they have the population to be able to sustain like a lot of those things. It needs to be different over here because there are less people playing and because more people favor reboot over reg server. And I know it's interactive and heroic. For this sake, I'm just gonna stick with reg and reboot. Okay, sorry. And again, if I don't come across correctly, I apologize. Please let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree. You know, I would love to hear it. Nexon will see this video. Obviously, comment on Niru's video too. You should have already commented on that. If you are watching this video, you probably already watched the his, right? So yeah, this is definitely something that, you know, Nexon should see and will see and we'll talk about, and you know, hopefully we will be making some changes maybe over the course of this year, right? Second thing here being tradability of items. Man, tradability, dude. With like playing reg server is so ass when everything is untradeable and time limited. You know, it really doesn't make sense. The scissor count, you know, for pitch boss items, for Eternals, like who wants to be able to like work on items only to have it just permanently disabled on their character? Like that goes against everything that reg server is about. Sweetwater gear should be tradable. It should be peacockable. They made Dawn Boss, they made Pitched Boss, right? Not all Pitched Boss is tradable. It should be though, right? Like I'm looking at you, Mitra's Rage, Genesis Badge, you know, stuff like that should be tradable. Make Sweetwater gear peacockable, okay? Like it's about damn time, okay? Again, the GMS way, okay? That's very important. People have a lot of Sweetwater gear lying around, whether it's monocles, tattoos, transpose gears from back in the day, want to be able to give it to other characters, or just sell it on the market as an option, right? It should be there, okay? Solar to fragments should be fully tradable. 100%, man, 100%. If the reason this isn't tradable is because of like Frenzy Totem, right? Like the post says, Maple Sea doesn't have it fully tradable. Servers without Totem have it untradable. So why is it only tradable in KMS, right? Again, this is reg server. The whole point of this server is to be able to trade, and having having fragments untradable also denies you an extra source of income, right? While you're grinding. Why are you only subjected to rely to the amount of meso that you get, which is far less than reboot, from the mobs per hour, and maybe occasionally symbols, right? Those are a stupidly low drop rate, right? But you're just subjected to that and like nothing else really. You know, if you were able to have fully tradable fragments, put them on the market, make some extra meso per hour, right? That continues to, you know, to make the economy move, right, and flow. So fragments should 100% be tradable. Node stones, right? Going back to even 5th job here now. Node stones also are fully tradable in KMS. We never got that, right? We never got to experience that. 5th job is a thing of the past. We have 6th job now. No reason why node stones shouldn't also be fully tradable when they drop from mobs. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the nodes that we get from the mobs being untradable, you'd have to use them, and I think it's about is it a 3-to-1 ratio or a 2-to-1 ratio when you, on average, when you extract it to create tradable node stones, right? I'm not 100% sure on that, so please let me know. But even if, let's say, like it's a 3-to-1, right? It's like, damn, man, I gotta open up 3,000 nodes to get 1,000 back to then be able to sell on the market. Roundabout way to be able to make some profit. It's crazy. Mention here also solid and hard cubes that you get from bosses and crafting, right? The material to craft items is fully tradable, right? And you can buy and sell it. Why aren't the cubes? Why are the cubes suddenly not tradable when you craft them? How does that make any sense? It literally doesn't make any sense, okay? And there's no reason why non-cash cubes like solid and hard cubes are untradable, right? Or inter-account tradable only, or whatever. Make them tradable, okay? Allow people to be able to sell them freely without having to be subjected to buying and selling service to potentially get their items scammed, which apparently is against TOS now. So does this make even more sense to have it this way? Like, apparently service is, you know, any kind of in-game service now, unless they've changed it, is against TOS. Like cube service, scroll service. What's up with that? Why are we not talking about that? And key cache items from the reward point shop. The scrolls, right? Protection scrolls, guardian scrolls, should be like the hammers, should be like redeemable to be able to then sell on the market to be able to use again, because you have to then rely on buying and selling service, and that comes with its own, you know, dilemmas and risks, right? So make it easier for the player to be able to do this instead of having to risk what they have potentially. All right, moving on. Frenzy Totem. Oh boy, Frenzy Totem. Okay, so it's been a couple of years now since Frenzy Totem has been removed from the game from being obtainable, and it's devolved to such a situation where it's worth so much money, right, that realistically you are not going to buy this for Meso, okay? And it doesn't have to be this way, right? When Nexon chose this first, we're like, oh, maybe they'll bring it back. It's kind of interesting. It's like, what the also like, what the fuck, they're removing Frenzy from the game. What's this gonna do? And what did this do, right? They did end up like restricting the items to from 300 plus areas in the future, but it's still going to work on 99% of the game. We are nowhere near level 300 plus areas. Still going to work on for the majority of the game, right? And then you making this item extremely limited, it now creates a monopoly for those that do have it, right? And what else? Pretty much, you either should have removed it after you removed it from being bought or pulled, right? You should have just either removed it from the game, compensated players, and just like accept the backlash, and then people will move on. And now you've like festered it to this point where it's pretty much just impossible to do anything without Frenzy Totem in reg server, right? Because the other option is just so bad, and you're not able to even obtain this item anymore. It's no one's fault but Nexon's for ballooning the cost of Frenzy Totem to what it is right now, to what it is today, right? It's due to their choices that they've made, right, that this is such an issue. And again, either should have just removed it and dealt with it, or, you know, just kept it in the game, right? Because now we're here, right? Everyone buys and sells service, and sometimes you're subjected to those who have the totem, right? We talk about that. And depending on what time zone you play, you might not even be able to find a buyer, let alone, again, circling back to like merging servers, right? You might not be able to find a buyer, and then like you're forced to just like play it during these ungodly hours potentially, to be able to take advantage of grinding and farming with Frenzy Totem, right? It's very stupid. It should come back. I hope Nexon does put it back, or man, maybe they introduce a cash shop item where you can buy a 30-day Frenzy Totem, right? Like you know, it redeems into the item time limited, so players can buy it that way instead of having to, you know, pull Marvel or Philo books to potentially get one, right? The cube system. Oh man, the cube system. A very big write-up here. There's a lot to talk about with the cube system. Completely just get it out of the way of the magic wand system, and there's probably no plans to introduce the free meso cubing in reg server, right? But on top of that, lack of bonus bright cubes in the event shops, right? For like, why? What's the reason? Again, transparency, man, transparency. It's not there. Lack of bonus bright cubes. The lack of bonus potential cubes in the reward point shop. You have the red and black or glowing and bright cubes, and just lack of bonus potential cubes in the reward point shop. Why? Why is it not? Why is that the only cube that's excluded, right? Why is it not there? Stuff like this would just make the experience ever so slightly better, because everything is going to add up at the end of the day, right? Not one change is going to be like, oh my god, you know, complete switch. Everything needs to add up towards a better experience, right? And then also the daily rewards, right, for like MVP ranks, you know, for those whale as like a rebate. You know, the higher rank you are in KMS, you get actually more cubes now, right? I think you get like 10 or something for like bonus cubes or black cubes, and I believe there's also is there a white cube now in the daily gifts in KMS? I would have to double check that, but you know, nothing for us. It's still like ×5 or whatever. It could be better, you know. It is over there. I don't see why it can't be better over here. Again, what is the reason, right? And then finally, special cubes, right? Which I mentioned also in my post that I made in the Bean Brigade Discord. I'm not obviously allowed to show other things. I can show my own personal messages that I posted about a week ago now about like certain, you know, key topics and key issues that I took from the suggestions feedback in the main Discord, and then kind of added my own things to it as well. The special cubes, right? Special cubes need to be brought back more frequently, right? Instead of just bringing them back pretty much like whenever they feel like it, right? There's no how do I say it, schedule as to like when to expect maybe like a violet cube sale or a you know, white cube sale, you know, bonus bright, or qualities, uni cubes. Have we even got qualities back again? I don't remember, but there's no schedule for this. You kind of have to just sit on your items, which isn't a very healthy way to play the game, right? Sit on your items to then pray that Nexon does like you know, they do releases, so then you can work on it. And then even when you are able to work on it, there's a restriction of like 5 purchases per account, right? Why are you making us go through like loops, you know, and like just hopping over fences when we could just buy on the same account? Like I'm gonna just buy 5 here, I'm gonna buy 5 on that account, buy 5 on that account, and guess what? It goes back to like the tradability thing. You have a PSOC. If your item is not fully tradable, you gotta PSOC this item over to account, and then maybe by the time it gets back to you, oh, congratulations, it's got 0 scissor count. You know, no one's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that. Okay, that is absolutely stupid. The item would have to be fully tradable, so you can't even like use it temporarily to like wait for these cube sales, right? Because no one's going to risk their PSOC count going down like that. So uncap the cap, you know, remove the cap from being able to buy special cubes per account. It doesn't make any sense, and bring back these sales more frequently. Okay, try to be a bit more transparent with this as well. It would be great. Okay. The reward point shop, yeah, very outdated, contains a lot of useless items. You add like better stuff. Even like the reboot reward point shop has nothing in it, right? Nothing in it. But maybe consider adding more useful and upgrading items to the reward point shop. 30-day hyper rock, red familiar cards, monster park tickets, more of them, bonus glowing cubes, right, etc, etc. That would be really good. Yes, I highly agree. That would be really good. We do have a 2x coupon, like the 1-day 2x coupons, which are capped at 250, by the way. That needs to be removed, or at least like increase the cap to like 275 by now, or something like that. 250 old cap. It doesn't make sense to keep it that way, honestly. Could raise it to even at least 260 because of hyper burns. But man, that 2x card also doesn't make sense to be able to have to cap it at a certain level. Let people just be able to buy, let people just be able to enjoy their grind, because you know they play on reg server. Okay, next thing here is the familiar system. Oh boy, and red familiar cubes. I wonder how long this video is going to be. Red familiar cards, they're ass. As someone who's used a lot of them, I do have 3 legendary familiars. It is ass. I did get a little bit lucky with 1 or 2 in regards to tearing up. My third one was very not lucky. And bro, these tear up rates are worse than KMS tear up rates. Okay, like it really tells you something when Nexon released the legendary familiar packs. And there was a pity system with these, right? Which I believe turned out to be around $350, $375 to guarantee you a legendary familiar from buying these packs. It tells you something when that was considered cheap, right? Something is very fucking wrong when that is considered cheap, right? You would much rather invest into that than purchase these $1.20 cubes to be able to tear up your familiar from unique to legendary. Very telling of how stupid it is and how bad the system is for familiar cards. Okay, the familiar system in general. All right, I'm just gonna break it down like this. It needs to be overhauled. It needs to be better. This is what you do. Okay, this is my proposal. We don't need to level up our fams anymore. It's so redundant. It's so tedious to have to level up your familiar from 1 to 5, kill 4,500 mobs with the familiar, just to be able to potentially rank it up, right? Because you can fail. Remove the failing. Okay, make tier up rate 100% success rate, double the amount of familiars you need, right? So like from 100 to 200, 150 to 300 to guarantee. Okay, make it like that. For reboot specifically here, I know we're talking about interactive, but I'll allow reboot to be able to buy extra slots. You know, like everyone's capped at 100. Unless you were there for the revamp, the change, you know, you have more. Everyone's capped at 100. That is so dumb. I don't know why that's still a thing. Change it, okay? Familiar system needs to be better. And remove a ton of the junk lines, man. Remove a ton of the junk lines. Why am I able to roll, like, outline my character in red or black on legendary? Of all things, right? Even unique, that is absurd, right? And then I roll on unique, right? I spent all this time getting a familiar. I reveal the potential, luck +8. I understand, like, you know, lines need to be like there because it can't be like all good. I get that, but at least make it better than something really stupid. Okay, I don't want to reveal my familiar and have a 10% chance to have a stick up my ass. Okay, and smile. Thank you. You get the point. You get the point. Drop rate of specific items here, number 7. Due to the low population of interactive worlds relative to overseas servers, the low drop rate on certain use and etc. items, for example, symbols, eternal flames, etc., makes it difficult to purchase these items from the auction house when there's already a low supply, even with Frenzy Totem. Yeah, again, it's due to the population. Increase the drop rate on items, on pitched, on just certain items, because again, it works well in KMS because they have a really big population. We don't. Even if you were to merge the servers together, I still think we don't. So consider, like, increase the drop rate on certain items. Like Niru showed an example of like droplets in Aurora and how there's zero Arcane River droplets. One of the two, right? None of them on like on the market. That's crazy. That like that's wild. Absolutely wild. You gotta farm your own. That's crazy. Spell Trace Fever time. Make it available every weekend. Sure. 100%. 100% make it available every weekend. Does KMS have this every weekend? I believe so. And on the topic of scrolling, 100% iCogs, where are they? Where are they? They should be in the event shops. By now, they should have been in the event shops. Okay, maybe I understood several months ago, but by now, they should be in the event shops. Why are they not in the event shops? What's the reasoning? Nothing hurts more than using a return scroll, which is about $5.50, by the way, to then fail the ICOG, and it consumes the return scroll. Yeah, it's like Reg server burns a lot of money to begin with like everything that you can do to upgrade your character and whatnot. Not everything needs to be just, you know, a money sink, right? Scrolling definitely doesn't need to be a money sink, and we've seen this with changes to spell traces and to certain things, making them 100%, right? ICOGs, like we're only talking about ICOGs from the shop, event shop, right? The Karma ICOGs should be 100%, not 60 anymore. Make it happen. Expiring cash items. Upgrading items can be purchased from the cash shop with real money, have an expiration date for some reason. Bro, we should be able to do things on our own time, right? When we want to, on our own time. If we want to hoard something, right, for a potential upgrade in the future, I would love to be able to buy like cubes, equality cubes, unicubes, violet cubes, and save them down the line to be able to then upgrade my items. Again, in a server with tradability, there's it adds on to the FOMO, you know. There's a lot of temporary stuff, and it's also in reboot too, don't get me wrong. A lot of temporary stuff in this game that doesn't need to be like Ursa's buff. Why is Ursa's buff 1 day duration? What's the point of that even? When you redeem it, it expires in 24 hours. Why? And then something here about the Netherlands situation for Dutch players. Players from the Netherlands playing interactive worlds currently have the absolute worst experience one can have playing this game. They restricted trading for these specific players due to legal complications. I was going to bring up Mabinogi, but they brought up Mabinogi as well. Apparently, Mabinogi, another Nexon-owned property, had it lifted. The trade restrictions lifted for Dutch players. Why can't you do this in MapleStory? Another property that you own. If there's some reason, say it, right? Like express it. Again, transparency, man. But if you can do it for your other title, why can't you do it for MapleStory? All right? Justice to the Dutch players. Okay? Let them be able to play Reg server normally. And again, big shout out to Easy Soundseeker here for making this post. Okay? And, you know, just me going through it. I do want to mention other things too. Like I said previously, I made my own post in the Bean Brigade Discord, kind of addressing and highlighting issues as well that I thought were important. I think we went over most of this in the Reddit post. One thing that we probably didn't, the scroll for shoes or spikes on shoes, this was like randomly removed, never brought back. It's going to really hinder people wanting to upgrade to eternal boots because of the because these scrolls and this ability allows you to kind of have a bit of more super stance from like knockback skills and whatnot. It's kind of like it's special effect or whatever it does. So it's not super important, but it would be really nice to bring this back. We still have the cape scroll for warmness, but we don't have the spikes on shoes, and there was no really communication for this. It was just removed from the game. Would be nice if this was brought back, right? And then the thing about cash cube adjustments, right? The meso cubes. I did want to talk about this. I'll bring it up. Sorry. I have a couple of different ways to look at this, but I propose region-based pricing in the cash shop. There were some arguments against it with like using VPNs and whatnot to get around this. I get that, but the idea itself is very important because we are holding players outside of the US to the same standards as the US dollar. Okay, not everything revolves around America, all right, and the US dollar. Okay, maybe it does, but it doesn't have to. I'm saying just in regarding the game. Sorry, not getting my point across correctly. Not everything needs to be around the US, right? We're subjecting people in South America, which I was told people save up like real money, save up for like a year to be able to buy violet cubes. What the fuck is that, man? What is that? That is absolutely outrageous. Okay, to be able to want to buy violet cubes in this game, to have to save up for that long. That is honestly crazy. Because of the differing economies in different countries, subjecting people in South America, Canada, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, right, the Middle East, to the same prices as people in the US for the US dollar. Okay, people outside of the US are getting, they have to pay more money for less NX, right? And then their cost of living is significantly different. So it's just seen as extremely expensive, and they're not going to want to invest, and they're not going to want to buy into your product if they're having to pay an arm and a leg for everything, right? Cubing is so freaking expensive, okay? It's just one thing, by the way. This is just one issue with cubes. They're so expensive, and then you make it even more expensive for players outside of the US. It's already as expensive as it is, like expensive enough, excuse me, in the US, like people living in the US. More expensive outside, right? I think with region-based pricing, you'll be able to adhere to more of your community, allow people that otherwise wouldn't buy to buy in, to then make more money, right? This would just make players a lot happier, or just cut the price of cubes completely. Let people get a better bang for their buck. Okay, make it worthwhile, make it cheaper. So again, people that wouldn't otherwise want to spend money on cubes be able to buy them, use them, and have fun with them, right? If cubes were significantly cheaper, you'd have more sales, more customers, and probably more money in return. I don't have anything to back this up, right? This is just how I feel, but this would be a great way to hopefully get people back into playing reg server, or actually want to play reg server for the first time, right? So yeah, bit of a long video, I think. Big shout out to Niru for what he did, standing up for what he believed in. Hopefully he will be able to hit 300 sometime soon, but I really hope that Nexon addresses this. As a part of Bean Brigade, again, I want to say that Nexon has told us that they value our opinions a lot. Change isn't going to happen immediately, but yeah, I would rather be in Bean Brigade and be have that direct conversation with Nexon, right? Be able to do that in the first place, to really tell them what's wrong, what can be done, what can improve, and hopefully they take that to heart and really talk about it and try to make some changes. Again, we are in a new era, right? Unprecedented new era, Western development, localization 3.0, the GMS way. So let's continue that high of not destroying reboot, and hopefully make some very positive changes to interactive to reg server, to the quality of life for people playing on these servers, so they actually want to play the game, you know, and feel happy about playing the game. It's not going to be 100% great, but again, these small things and small changes that can be made will add up to something bigger and, you know, hopefully revitalize reg server, right? Oh, okay. Damn. But yeah, you know, thank you, Niru, for, you know, using his platform to be able to say what he said. I truly believe that it, you know, came from a really good place, and I'm glad that he said what he said, and I completely 100% agree with everything that he pointed out. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will be sure to link Nexon this video. They've already seen Niru's probably. But yeah, let me know if you agree, if you disagree, anything. If you are, you know, if you play on reg server or you play on reboot, how you think of things. Let me know down below, okay? And bro, that equipment video is coming really soon, okay? I'm sorry, it's coming very, very soon, okay? I can tap my shoulder. I'm getting an eternal shoulder very soon. We'll see what happens with that. My bad. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Big thanks to Rooney, Eric Guritti, Justisu, the JP, Joshua Alvarez, Restrict, Little Joke, Justin Miranda, Tails Cursped, and Lake Tiger for being members and supporting the channel. Click that join button down below if you would like to become a member and support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.